bottom of the second page of the Maimer, Ois Beis, line 24. Yesh Lakasha Zeh Mashkasa B'Kapitel Kuf Yud. We can connect this with what it's written in Kapitel Kuf Yud. Sheshayich L'Shon Zu. Shnas HaKuf Yud. It has to do with the 110th year, top of page Zayin Lehuladatoy, because the Rebbe Rashab was born in Tafresh Chaf Aleph, Shnas Kisra. So Tafshin Lamed, we're going into he would say the Kapitel 110. That it says over there in Kapitel 110, Ata Koyin La'olam. You are a Koyin forever. So the Rebbe is going to bring what is this Ata Koyin La'olam referring to. Hine B'Rishimus at Samach Tzedek al Tilim, in the Samach Tzedek's notes on Tilim. Maybe Maimer Azoyer al Pasuk, he brings the statement of the Zohar in the Pasuk Yehuda Atom. So on the Pasuk Yehuda Atom, so first of all he says like this: Brachas go with the Nusach Baruch Atom. So the Zohar says Ihu Baruch, the masculine aspect of the Eibishter, that is called Baruch, because Hamshacha, because it's giving, the masculine, the Chosn is the one that's Mashpia. The Ihi, the feminine, the she, is Malchus. That's the level of Malchus. And Malchus is represented by Ata. Why? So he says the Kivin, the Amri Atom, since it says, as soon as we say Atom, Shultanu v'Ravrevanu Isla. So then it gets its rulership and greatness. Why does Ata impart rulership and greatness to the level of Sfiras HaMalchus? Because the Ata Koyin La'olam. Because it says, you are a Koyin forever. A Koyin doesn't just mean someone that serves in the Beis HaMikdash. A Koyin means a position of leadership and rulership and so on. So we see that Ata has to do with rulership. So you have Baruch, and then you have the Ata Malchus becoming in a leadership position. And how does that happen? Hacha is kasher chulu biyamina chulu. When it is bound up with the right side, we're soon going to say when it's bound up with chesed, so then we'll begin kach ata koyin la'olam. Then you could be a koyin forever. By the way, another place of Chassidus brings down that koyin is isha chesed, koyin levi Yisrael is chesed b'ur tiferes. So when you're bound up with the level of chesed, as we will talk later in the Maimer why that is, that imparts the ata power and strength into Malchus. And then the Zohar concludes, Valda Amar Yehuda Ata. So in a similar vein, he says about Yehuda, that you are Ata. Yehuda, we know, is this level of Sfiras HaMalchus. And we tell, and we say about Yehuda representing Sfiras HaMalchus, you get the Ata, you get the rulership, you are like the Koyin La'olam, this great power. Mevayer, and the Zohar and the Tzemach Tzedek explains, the pasuk of Ata Koyin La'olam, Koyal David ve'Avraham. It's referring to David HaMelech and it's referring to Avram Avinu. Like the Tzemach Tzedek brings prior to bringing down the Zohar. So he says, Lashon Rashi, he brings what Rashi says on this Kapitel Tehillim. And the Rebbe says, Besignan She'ein Ragel, this is not a customary language expression that Rashi uses. What does Rashi say? Rabbeseinu Dorashu Ba'Avram Avinu, our Rabbeim darshaned and explained that this pasuk and this Kapitel Tehillim Kuf Yud Aleph is referring to Avram Avinu. V'ani afarshenu k'divrayim, and I will explain like their words. Usually Rashi will say, as we're familiar, Rabbeinu darshu, Arabeim thread, and so on and so. But here Rashi uses, the Rebbe says, an unusual expression. This is what the Rabbeim say. This is what our Rabbi say. Not the Rabbeim. The Rabbi Seinu, the Chazal said, and I will say it like them. It's unusual, the Rebbe says. Mefarish kol kapitel b'negel Avram, and Rashi explains the entire kapitel. He explains according to Avram. He explains everything over here that it's Avram Avinu. And the Rebbe says, Shezoi gam hashayches leparsha Shavua. That's why this also has connected with the parsha of the week. Because Vayera Hashem el Avram, it's talking about Avram Avinu. And v'achkach moisef Rashi, and afterwards Rashi adds inyan acher. There's another matter over here. Yesh lefarish hamizmar hazeh b'David v'chulu. Rashi says an alternate way of explaining Kapitel Kuf Yud Aleph, including Ata Kohen La'olam, is referring to David HaMelech, Umefarish Kol HaKapitel B'Negel David, and he explains the entire chapter according that it's talking about David HaMelech. So what does it have to do with David? Ki Yehuda v'David and Mechinas Malchus, because Yehuda and David is the level of Malchus. Ukedei shegia Yehuda v'David Mechinas Ata. So that Yehuda should have the level of Ata in him, like we said, and David should have the level of Ata, which shows on rulership and greatness and so on. Hamoyd al Shutana, that shows on the idea of rulership. How does it attain it? Zeh why they diskashras bechesed Avram. It's through being connected and bound up with the kindness of Avram. And the Tzemach Tzedek explains what's the connection. Why does it reach a level of Ata because of being bound up with the Chesed of Avram? So the Tzemach Tzedek explains in line 19, according to what it's written on the pasuk, Atu Havaya Levadecha, that you Havaya are alone. The level of Havaya, the way it's alone, is Ata. The level that we're now associating with Malchus is Havaya Levadecha. V'acharkach, and afterwards it says Ato Sisas Hashemayim. After it says Atu Havaya Levadecha, we say in Shachris every day, you made the heavens and the earth. But Chaser Hey B'Tevis Ata, the same word Ata is missing a letter Hey. What does the missing letter Hey indicate? This indicates that which comes down in bringing about the heavens and the earth only comes from the last level, Malchus the Ein Sof, the level of Malchus of the infinite, the lowest level of the Ein Sof. The first Ata with the letter Hey, Atu Havaya Levadecha, the level of Havaya being all alone, meaning alone beyond having everything to do with the world. Therefore, the avodah is to draw down that it should be a revelation of the level of Ata. Al derech Atu Havaya Levadecha. Similar to what it says, Atu Havaya Levadecha. In other words, like this: Malchus on its own, or the level that's involved in creation of the world on its own, is Ata, lacking a Hey. It doesn't have the full force, it doesn't have the full revelation, it's only the last level, it's only the lowest level. We want to bring down a level that's beyond that. We want to bring down a level of Atu Havaya Levadecha. So there needs to be a certain avoida, which we'll soon explain is through its connection with Chesed of Avram, etc. Then it can bring the greatness of the Ata with the Hey into Malchus, is bringing into being the worlds, which ordinarily that would be the Ata without the Hey. Now again, this is very Kabbalic. He doesn't really explain it. The Maimer, as it goes on, is going to explain this more. So hold on with your questions and see if they're answered as we go on. Ois Gimel, bottom of the page, line 27. The idea behind this is the level of Ata shows on a very high revelation. b'bchinas hamalchus top of page ches. In the level of malchus, it has a very high level of revelation in malchus. Like it's understood from the difference between ata, missing the letter hey, to ata with the letter hey. It is a distance between the ata without the hey and the ata with the hey is an incomparable distance. You refers to the infinite light of Hashem before the tzimtzum. It filled all existence. And to such a degree that it filled all existence, there was no room for the worlds to stand and be and exist. This means, it's not only was there no room for worlds that are of the lower quality worlds, those type of worlds that fall into the category of Eretz being the lowest things, but also worlds that are called the level of Shemayim. Also, there is no room in the level of the Eretz of Shalifnei Tzimtzum. Vayarak atu avayla vadecha. All there was you Hashem, you Avaya alone. The ilu ata chaser hey, as opposed to the ata missing the letter hey. Koy ala oir shala achrei tzimtzum. This refers to the light of the Eibishter after the first tzimtzum. Sheyesh le'erech v'shayches la'olmus. It does have a comparison and has association with the worlds. Asisas hashemayim goymer ha'aretz goymer. Ata asisa, you, without the letter hey, made the heavens and the earth. That means it associates with them. It relates to them. They exist in tandem with him. V'oidzoi, an additional thing that we see about the word ata without a hey, like it's explained in a different place in Chassidus. B'inyan ata chaser hey, concerning the word ata without the letter hey, shezel chesroin chamisha partzufim. This is lacking the 5 faces, 5 general levels of the number 1. It's lacking the keser, which keser is made up of atak and arach. That's 1. Chachmo bina, that's 2 and 3. Uzerampin v'nukva, the midas and malchus, that's 4 and 5. So the Rebbe explains, though even in the word ata, when it's missing the hey, it still has the letters aleph through taf. Just like in the word ata with a hey has the letters aleph through taf, or is included, or it shows, it indicates all the letters from aleph through taf. Like it's brought out in Tanya Sharich v'Emunah, the word ata indicates the letters of the aleph base from aleph through tav. And what does that indicate? When you have all the letters of the aleph base, shemayid ala shleimus, this indicates completion and perfection. So you would think, what's the big deal? You're missing the letter hey. Amnam tachlis hakavani, the ultimate purpose is lahamshich haydei kiyum Torah mitzvahs, to draw down through fulfilling Torah mitzvahs chamisha pertzufim. Those 5 levels of keser, chachma, bina, zeir, ampin, and nukva, gam b'chinas ata, also on the level of ata that doesn't have that initially. V'hain shegam b'sfiras hamalchus, even as sfiras hamalchus b'chinas nukva, the level of the feminine. Shesham yeshnoi inyan achisarin, in the feminine there's the idea of a lack. Shu inyan tashash koichik in a keva, like it says about Moshe Rabbeinu that it's spelled over there at. Because he was as weakened like a woman, because of what the Eden said over there. So even in Malchus, which is used the word at in a feminine, aleph taf, yum gili chamisha partzufim, should come down the revelation of the 5 forms. The yeh ata, and should be turned from at into ata, top of page tes, mole. In other words, the word is full, spelled out with the entire aleph base, the way it's supposed to be spelled, not lacking any letters. Kimoi, just as full and just as complete as Atu Avai Levadecha. Even down here, even in the heavens and the earth, we should have the level of Atu, of the level of Atu Avai Levadecha. V'hainu, this means the Av Shemitzad Atu Avai Levadecha V'Yishayin Lifnei Atzimtzum. Though from the perspective of you, Hashem, are alone, the way it was before the Tzimtzum, there was no room, there was no allowance, there was no place for the worlds to stand. Kanal, like we said before. Only through a Tzimtzum, the Ata is lacking the letter Hey. And that's how Nasa Afsharis Ha'ilmus became the possibility for the worlds. So you would think, okay, that's it. If you have the worlds, you can't have Ata with a Hey. So he says, no, line 5, Mikol Makom still no. Once the worlds came into being, it could be that should come down also the light before the Tzimtzum, the revelation of these 5 levels. And still in all the worlds should remain in their existence. Ella, but rather there will be in a much higher level of existence than they were when they were first created, by the fact that there was an Ata without the letter Hey, and now they are manifesting the Hey as well.